Handle Your Business, a weekly podcast discussing a little of this and a little of that. Handle Your Business appropriately blends serious topics with fun topics, all in an effort to help you have a good or better life. So join me, your host, Lady Lashley, and some amazing guests every Sunday at 5 p.m. to explore everything from financial management to dealing with relationship challenges. Put it in your calendar every Sunday from 5 p.m. Tune in to Handle Your Business to get you ready for the week ahead. For more details, follow at Lady Lashley TT on Instagram and Facebook. Handle Your Business.
Welcome to another episode of Handle Your Business with yours truly, Lady Lashley. Thank you very, very much for joining me. This is the final episode for 2022. Can you believe it? It feels as if it was just yesterday when this podcast was started. It was started in January this year. And it's been quite a ride. I want to really say thank you to everyone who has taken the time to listen to a podcast episode or more than one. Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it. To all of the people who have subscribed, thank you. I really appreciate it. When I had the idea for this podcast a few years ago, to do a podcast, I looked around, I wanted initially to be on a particular platform, tried to join, and it was only for creators based in the Western countries, couldn't get on, couldn't do anything, Then I started looking around, seeing what was possible, and it was a few years in the making. And even when I thought I was ready to launch, something came up and it didn't happen until December last year, 2021, when I said, you know what, shit that. January, the podcast will be launched. And it was crazy. It was very, very crazy because, it was just kind of touch and go. So to all of the guests who agreed to come on and do an episode with me, or even two, there are people who came on more than one time. Thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you. Our conversations were fun, very enlightening at that. I am looking forward to 2023. All right, this is the final episode for 2022. This is the Sunday before Christmas. Next Sunday it's Christmas, and then the following Sunday it's New Year's Day. So we'll be back out in 2023 with more episodes of Handle Your Business. I had to stop doing, I had to pause episodes for some months in this year because I had to deal with some health issues. And initially what was really a break to sort of have that pause between, in my mind, what would be season 1 and season 2, that became an extended thing. And it turned out that I had to have major surgery, which I did, and I've been healing okay. Thank goodness for that, and for having a really good doctor, and for being placed under the care of competent physicians and other medical staff members, medical personnel. Thank you to my loving daughter, who has allowed me the time and space on many occasions to be able to record this podcast, who's even taken the time to come on an episode with me. She doesn't understand why yet, but in time she'll figure it out. Yeah, in time she'll understand better. But I was really happy about how the year went. Very, very happy that so many people took the time to tune in. I was very deliberate in doing an audio only type of podcast, because if you go back to the origins of what a podcast is, it's really meant to be audio files, not necessarily any video or anything like that. But of course, given the times that we're in, people's concentration spans are short. a lot of people don't listen to anything unless they can see a short video. Some people don't look at things beyond 2 minutes or a minute. And so you'll see a lot of podcasters, having their videos along. They're doing like an audio video presentation. And that's them. But I really, really wanted to focus on just doing the audio only. Maybe because I've had the opportunity to be in radio, and for the number of years that I was privileged to be on a radio platform, what I recognize is that radio, as opposed to TV, sort of forces the person listening to listen, because you're not seeing anything, right? You're not seeing the people who are talking. So you really just kind of have to listen and tune into the conversation, although not everybody will do that. But it sort of forces you to listen. And I like that, because what I'm hoping to do is, with the conversations, when you listen, even if you disagree, you can learn something, or it can stir some sort of emotion in you, some sort of passion, maybe go and do some research, whatever. As long as it's positive. That's the whole idea, to have a positive impact. And thankfully, that feedback has come back in terms of the people who decided to say, well, hey, I listen, I tune in, I'm there weekly, it's been positive. And so I really, really appreciate that. Again, appreciate everyone who has been listening, and every guest who has agreed to come on and do an episode with me. All right. And you can go back and listen to the episodes from episode 1 right down to 23, I believe, is the last one before this one. Yeah, you can listen to all of them. All of the podcast platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, where they have all of the podcasts, Audible, Amazon Music, you name it, we're there. And of course, the website, my website, is ladylashleytt.com. ladylashleytt.com. You can always find a link to any of the platforms there, including the YouTube ones that we put up, because some people sort of, just like YouTube, not everybody, I understand that not everybody is big on downloading a podcast app just yet, right? But we'll get there. So again, it's really just to say thank you. This is the final installation and episode for 2023. I really appreciate it. I've had to undergo major surgery this year, and that in itself has been a life-changing experience. It came on the heels of a particularly sort of challenging time mentally, and so having to move from an emotional sort of situation to then dealing with the physical one. Of course, the emotion comes into play as well. It's been very, very transformative for me, right? And one of the transformations that I've put into action is that I'm also launching a second podcast in January of 2023. All right, that one will be much more raw than Handle Your Business. This is, pretty tame and meant to be very, very much more educational. The whole family can listen, that kind of thing. The other offering, which is called Fuck It, These Are My Thoughts, that would be much more raw. It will hopefully be shorter than these ones, and that one will be launched in January. So look out for it. There will be information about that new podcast on my website, ladylashleytt.com, as well as on my YouTube page, Lady Lashley TT. It may be well, I'm thinking that because it's going to be raw, it's going to be for, well, you're going to have to listen and see if you want to keep listening. Let's just put it like that. But I feel as if a big part of the challenges that we face has to do with the fact that we're not very open and honest about who we are, what we are like, and that kind of thing. A lot of us, pretend, and there's this kind of thing about what society expects of you. Who is society? All of us. Who determines how you should be? So that's going to be an offering. You can check it out if you like. If you do like it, then keep listening. If you don't, that's fine. As a human, we all have different areas to who we are. Different, we're all different people, and as one person, we have many different sides. So that's just that. But I just wanted to jump on real quick and again say thank you for all of the support for Handle Your Business in 2022. Really, really, really appreciate it. Hope to continue putting out content that you find enjoyable, interesting, and most of all beneficial, because that's the whole idea of Handle Your Business. When you listen to an episode, it should be able to spark action, positive action, and that's just basically the intention behind it. So thank you to everybody who has listened, everyone who have agreed to be a participant, everyone who has agreed to come on and be a guest on an episode. Thank you. I really, really appreciate it, and looking forward to bigger and better things in 2023. Yeah, more power. Believe in yourself. Be true to yourself. All right. All of us have flaws. No individual is perfect. So my own word to me and to whoever else wants to take it as a word, be you. Be authentic. Be true to yourself. All right. That's one of the fundamental things about being able to cope in this life and move forward and perhaps even thrive and be a positive influence. Now, there's some people who want to be negative influences. That's your business, right? That's your vibe. But if you're trying to, be on the positive side, as I am, then it's important that authenticity is dominant. So, happy holidays to everybody. If you're into the holidays, whatever you do, hopefully you can be safe. Hopefully you can take some time for your own personal wellness. Just be good to yourself, even if that means that you need to unplug and relax and just chill out. Be good to yourself. And in so doing, while you're doing that, try to be good to others as well. If you're not in a position to be good to other people, there's nothing wrong with removing yourself from that kind of more public space. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people been going through a lot of shit, and so it's difficult to try and be there for other people when you need somebody to be there for you. So whatever you need to do to be able to cope, as long as it's not harmful and detrimental to you, do what you need to do. More power, people. I'm out. Thank you very, very much for all of your support in 2022. And always remember that when you're listening to Handle Your Business, the whole idea of this podcast is that you can have some sort of positive impact after you've listened. And ultimately, in the end, whatever you're doing, you will be able to handle your business.
Handle Your Business, a weekly podcast discussing a little of this and a little of that. Handle Your Business appropriately blends serious topics with fun topics, all in an effort to help you have a good or better life. So join me, your host, Lady Lashley, and some amazing guests every Sunday at 5 p.m. to explore everything from financial management to dealing with relationship challenges. Put it in your calendar every Sunday from 5 p.m. Tune in to Handle Your Business to get you ready for the week ahead. For more details, follow at Lady Lashley TT on Instagram and Facebook. Handle Your Business.